Iran and Israel are at war. Israel has killed 20 plus Iranian high-level commanders and also destroyed Iranian nuclear facilities. In response, Iran carried out multiple missile strikes on Israel. One side war happening, other side crude oil prices are skyrocketing. Global crude oil prices shot up 10% overnight. Because of it, India also in big financial risk. Nearly 2/3 of Indian oil passed through the Strait of Hormuz. Unfortunately, this place is controlled by Iran. If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices could shoot up $120 per barrel. And that could be nightmare for India. Because every $10 hike in crude oil prices, India will lose $12 to $13 billion every year. So in this video, let's understand why Israel and Iran war happening. How could it put the global economy at risk? And how India going to handle this global disaster? June 13, 2025, Israel launched a powerful airstrike on Iran. More than 200 fighter jets and long-range missiles were used on this surprise attack, and the target Iranian nuclear facilities and Iran's high-level commanders and nuclear scientists. Within hours, many Iranian commanders and nuclear scientists were killed, and many nuclear sites on Iranian cities are badly damaged. For it, Iran also sent multiple drones and missiles on Israel, and they both continuously fighting till today. But what if I told you once upon a time these two nations were friends? Yes, Israel and Iran were not enemies. They were friends back then. It's all started like this. In 1948, Israel got independence. The Arab world like Kuwait, Lebanon, Egypt rejected Israel as a nation. But when it come to Iran, it started supporting Israel because back then Iran was not ruled by religious leaders. It was ruled by a king called Shah Muhammad. He was very modern and had big plans to transfer Iran into a more developed nation, just like a Western style country. At the time, Iran had good relations with Israel. Iran used to supply oil to Israel, and in return, Israel provided weapons and technologies to the Iran. Everything was going really well. But the big problem came when Shah Muhammad focused on making Iran more modern. That's when more Iranian people felt he was ignoring Iran's traditional values. Iranian people also believed he was not helping the poor people and was getting close to the Western countries like United States. People thought he was damaging Iranian Islamic culture, and that's when Islamic Revolution started. That revolution ended the rule of Shah Muhammad, and that's led the establishment of Islamic Republic of Iran. It was led by Ayatollah Khamenei. That's when major changes happened in Iran. The new Iranian government saw Israel as an enemy. The new leadership felt Israel was occupying the land that belongs to Palestinians, and Iranian new leaders also hated Western influence, since Israel was so close to United States. Because of that, Iran started considering Israel as an enemy country. That is why even today, Iran sees Israel as an enemy country. But Iran's involvement doesn't stop there. It also built the network of proxy groups across the Middle East to spread its influence, and Israel hated that. But main cause behind this war started when Iran making nuclear weapons. Israel felt it was in full risk. The real fear was if Iran builds a nuclear weapon, it might not just use it for itself. It might give to its proxy groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza. These groups already have the strength to launch missiles on Israel, but a nuclear armed Hezbollah and Hamas will be biggest threat. That is why Israel launched strikes on Iranian's nuclear facilities and killed most of Iranian nuclear scientists and higher commanders. Now the biggest question is how Iran will react to it. If we talk realistically, Iran may not have military capability to destroy Israel or United States, but they have one economic power. That's Strait of Hormuz. Most of Asian oil comes from here. If Iran blocks or restricts the oil shipments through this crucial waterway, it will severely impact the global oil supplies, including global consumers like India. So how India going to solve this economic disaster? Because India imports almost 1.7 billion barrels of crude oil every year. Over 80% of it comes from one narrow route, the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, that same choke point now Iran is threatening to block, because if Strait of Hormuz gets blocked, India or any Asian countries have no option. They have to bring oil all the way from Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa, and it will create huge problems like extended journey. If oil comes from Cape of Good Hope, the ships has to travel 6,000 to 7,000 kilometers extra. That means at least 10 to 15 days delay in shipping time, plus shipping insurance premium shoot up in the time of global tensions. End result, our petrol, diesel, LPG prices could jump up overnight, and our Indian economy felt the pain immediately. So the biggest question is, how our government going to solve this problem? Simple. We have emergency oil reserves. India has created strategic petroleum reserves, basically a giant underground tanks at places like Mangaluru and Visakhapatnam. These facilities can supply us oil around 74 days. In short, we have time to breathe. Even imports stopped suddenly. And one more important point here is, over past few months, our government has working hard to decrease the physical deficit from 5.6% to 4.5%. In fact, they had asked the PSU companies like ONGC, Coal India to pay higher dividends. Even RBI had paid 2.1 lakh crores as a dividend to our government. If Iran-Israel war continues, crude oil prices will definitely skyrocket, and that will severely impact the government goal of this physical deficit. Let's see what's going to happen. So that's it from my side. What do you guys think about this Israel and Iran conflict? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit on the bell icon. See you on the next video.